I don't know if you have ever gone into the question of what is intelligence. I've got 3 minutes left. It's a very complicated question. Now, the speaker asks you, what is intelligence? Right? How do you receive that question? How do you approach that question? Our brain is trained to solve problems. Right? It's trained from childhood to solve problems. Mathematical, historical, you follow, examinations, all those are indications of solving problems. So our brain is trained to solve problems. The architectural problems, engineering problems, problems how to put a motor together. So we approach life with a brain that is trying to solve problems. I don't know if you realize. So you treat life as a problem and then try to find a solution to the problem. So when the speaker asks you a question like this, what is intelligence? You make that into a problem. Naturally. And then you try to solve that question through a brain that is trained to solve. Now, can one, as a friend I am asking, can one look at this problem, this question, what is intelligence, not as a problem, right? Can you do it? If you do, that's the beginning of intelligence. That means the brain is already becoming free from its conditioning. But if you approach this question, what is intelligence, and then try to solve it, you're back in the old muddle. But when one realizes that one's brain is conditioned to solve problems, and therefore you approach any question with a mind, with a brain that says, I must solve it. So we never meet a challenge afresh. To meet a problem of, any problem afresh is the beginning of intelligence. So, we started out by asking whether humanity can live in peace. Because if we cannot live in peace, you cannot flower. You cannot, life becomes terribly small and petty. And in that inquiry, whether human beings, that is you, me, and the rest of the world, and you being the rest of humanity, you are, whether you like it or not. You may stick to your condition that you are an individual, but you are not. You may have a different body, different name, different color. You may have long hair, short hair, you may speak German or the rest Russian, but you are standing on the same ground as the rest of humanity. And we said that the brain has its function. And what is the root of that function? What is the basis of that function? It is not to live in conflict, obviously. Then that question is raised, and you say, now I must solve it. Then you ask, how am I to do it? Then you get the systems, the methods, the apologies, and all the rest of the arguments, pros and cons. But when the brain is not approaching a challenge, an issue, with its old trained condition, then you can look at that question, that challenge, totally anew, fresh. Isn't that the capacity of intelligence, to look at something clearly? Not try to solve it.